everybody, today I'm sharing a little DIY video, how to make your own bath bombs. Here I have a bath bomb that I made with my mom. This is one of the things that we really enjoy doing with one another. So here it is. Isn't that just like beautiful? It smells like spearmint. I love it. So we thought that we would do a little video showing you how we make these bath bombs, how they work, and all this cool stuff, because sometimes it can be really expensive to buy bath bombs from brands like Soap and Glory, Lush, etc, etc. So sometimes it's just fun to know what you're putting into your products and stuff like that. Yeah, so if you would like to see how to make your own bath bombs, continue watching. Okay, so what you will need is baking soda, essential oil, citric acid, plain epsom salt, cornstarch, and the last two ingredients are completely optional, olive oil and dried lavender leaves. So what you want to do is first put 1 cup of baking soda into the bowl. And then you want to incorporate a 1/2 cup of epsom salt, a 1/2 cup of citric acid, and then a 1/2 cup of cornstarch. Now, you will want a bigger bowl. I later in the video switched to a bigger bowl. As you can see, it was really hard to mix, and you have to mix it with your hands, so definitely use a bigger bowl. But this is completely optional. Now you can use olive oil, shea butter, coconut oil, whatever you want, as long as it is a liquid. And I put in a teaspoon, but you can definitely put in more or less depending on your preference. Here I am adding the essential oil. We used peppermint oil. I used 2 teaspoons because I like the scent to be really strong, but again, you can use as much or as little as you want. Just know that essential oil does go a really long way. So I just very gently mix it together, and now I'm adding 6 drops of green food color and then 6 drops of blue food coloring, because because of the peppermint smell, I wanted it to have a teal turquoise, you know, kind of green color. So at first I did 6 drops of each, and then after I mixed it, which you can see here, I am mushing it kind of in my hand, you know, like running it between my fingers, and that will help disperse and break apart the drops of dye. So after that, I added 6 more drops of the green and blue coloring, and then did the same thing, mixing it. You can do as much or as little as you want, depending on what you want the color, like how opaque you want it, and how you want it to disperse in the water. You can always do what I did, which I didn't show it in this video, but I took a tiny little bit of this mixture and put it in a glass of water to see how pigmented the color would be when added to the water. So I'm just kind of rubbing it between my hands, breaking up whatever little beads of color are left. And then I was pretty happy with that color. And then I wanted to add dried lavender leaves. You don't have to do this. You can use whatever flowers that you want, dried or not. It doesn't really matter. You don't even have to include this, but I thought that the lavender smell would be really nice with the mint smell. So then I just kind of quickly mixed that throughout. And then taking a spray bottle, you want to gently spray water onto this mixture, but you want to do it from like 6 inches above the bowl, because you don't want to activate the mixture and make it get all fizzy like a bath bomb. So you want to do this very slow, adding 1 to 3 sprays per spray, I guess. Like, you want to spray it 1 to 3 times, mix it with your hand, and then spray it 1 to 3 times again until it becomes easily packed together in your fist, like you would, like snow is easy to pack into your fist, you know what I mean? It kind of becomes the texture of moon sand, if you know what moon sand is. It's like a mixture that is totally like sand, but then you squeeze it and it bunches up together. So you just want to do it until you can squeeze it in your hand and get a nice solid form, basically. And it totally depends on the kind of spray bottle you use, so I can't really give you an exact number of sprays. I just know that we did 18 sprays, but you want to definitely break it up. You don't want to do it all at once. And I think I did it, yeah, this was the last time. So after this little speed through of mixing it, you'll be able to see how you want it to be textured when you squeeze it. And it just forms a nice little solid shape. And then this is how you pack it in. Now you can use a hard plastic mold, but I think silicone works best. You just basically want to put the mixture into the mold, and then you want to pack it down as best as you can with your fingers or a spoon or whatever else you have around. You just want to make sure that it is completely solid in that mold, because if it's not and it dries, when you take it out of the mold, it'll just fall apart, and you don't want it to fall apart. So just make sure it's packed completely perfectly, or at least do the best that you can. And then spray from 6 inches up, 3 sprays on the mold, because what that does is the water acts as a glue between the bottom layer of the mixture and then the top layer of the mixture, and that will just kind of ensure that you get a nice solid bath bomb once it dries. So you just want to put the rest of the mixture on top and then pack it down just like you did the first time. And now when these dry, they usually dry for about 24 hours minimum. We let ours dry for 48 hours, but you can wait longer if you want. You don't have to, but definitely do not touch them or play with them until it's been 24 hours, because if they're not completely dry, they will just crumble and fall apart, and you really don't want that after putting so much work into it. So this is now me taking them out of the molds after 48 hours. So this is why I think a silicone mold is the best, because it's very flexible and you won't do too much damage to the actual bath bombs. But they were completely dried through, completely solid, and I was so excited to try one. So yeah, you just want to be really gentle when taking them out of the mold. Look how good they look. Like, they look really good in person, but like in the video they look really good too. But yeah, so you just want to be very gentle. One thing that I will point out is the color that you use. Know that once the mixture dries, it does become slightly darker. And then this is what it looks like when being put into the water. It fizzes up like a regular bath bomb does, and you can see the color dispersing into the tub. Look, looks so nice. And then once it is completely dissolved into the water, you have this nice teal bath water with nice dried lavender petals, and it just smells like mint, and it smells amazing, and it just feels great as well. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a fun little DIY one to make. If you have any questions, anything like that, if there's any other DIY things that you would like to see, just tell me in the comments. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. And yeah, if you make these, please send me a photo or a video or something like that. I would love to see it. I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.